It's often possible to reverse years of joint problems with 5 simple daily habits that work especially well for people over the age of 60. My name is Harlow and I specialise in helping people over age 50 to improve their strength and mobility and to stay independent. And today I'm going to share 5 simple daily habits that can reverse years of joint problems. The first daily habit to help you reverse years of joint problems is 10 minutes per day of morning mobility work. Now, this tip changed my life and the lives of my clients. And many people erroneously believe you have to do hours and hours of stretching to see a difference in your mobility. That's totally not true. Just 5 or 10 minutes of mobility work every morning can make a massive difference to how you feel. So what should your routine involve? Well, your routine is going to be different from anyone else's, and what I'd like you to do is focus on just one sticky or problem area of your body and work on it every day. If you do just 5 or 10 minutes worth of mobility work every day on that area, over about a month, you will see significant improvements. If you have more than one problem area, just prioritize one for the moment and then you can move on to the second area in month 2. Let me show you a gentle version of my current morning mobility routine to help to give you some ideas for what you can do at home. Just to make you aware, the exercises I'm going to show you are not suitable for everyone. Please get checked out before you try them and avoid them if they cause you pain. The first thing I do is try to spend some time in a squatting position. And I've worked up to being able to sit back into a squat like this because it's so good for knees, hips, and spinal mobility. But if you can't squat all the way down, you can still have a go at this at home. Here's how you start. Find something to hold on to, like the back of a chair, and just practice going down into a squatted position by bending your knees and your hips, just as far as you feel comfortable. If you've got bad knees or bad hips, just stop before you hit the point of pain. And all I want you to do is spend a couple of minutes every morning just sitting back into that squatted position. You might surprise yourself over a few weeks and be able to get further down into the squat than you ever thought possible as pains and aches start to recede. And as you get better and better, you can sit down further into the squat. Just pay attention to which part of the body is restricting you. For me, it was always my ankles. So what I did was go down into the squat and then try and put a little bit more emphasis into ankle mobility by going knees over toes repeatedly. And just doing that from morning to morning each day, slowly, incrementally helped me to get better. And now I don't need to hold on to anything anymore. I can go right down and sit in this position quite comfortably. But I didn't start that way. So don't feel ashamed if you can't get all the way down. It takes time, but the results are certainly worth it. And it's helped my hips, my knees, and my ankles. The second thing I do is something to help me work on my rotation. And because I spend a lot of time doing desk work nowadays, I find my mid-back gets stiff and I lose the ability to rotate or extend. So here is what I started doing. I went back into a squatted position and then worked on lifting my arm and rotating at the same time. Now again, this is quite an advanced exercise, so most people won't be able to start here. So if you're just getting started, here's what you should do instead. Find a chair and sit on it and then replicate that, but from a comfortable seated position. So you're sat down like this. You want to raise one of your arms up and rotate at the same time. You'll feel a stretch between your shoulder blades. Hold for 5 seconds, then come back and swap. And doing these seated rotations makes a massive difference to your posture and how well you can reach, how well your shoulders work as well. And it really does pay dividends over time. The final thing I like to do for my morning mobility routine is a stretch for my shoulders and my upper back. Again, just to keep my posture good and to stop me from getting into this rounded position, whilst also helping the tightness I get in my shoulders from past injuries. Here's how it looks. All you need for this is a wall, and you're just going to face the wall like this and put your hands on it in front of you. Take your feet about shoulder width apart, take them nice and wide, walk away from the wall, keeping your arms straight. You're just going to drop down into that gap between your shoulders. Now do this gently. because it was a really intense stretch on your shoulders if this is the first time you've done it. And if you lose control, you could quite easily strain something. So do it slowly and carefully and just sink down into this slowly, keeping your back straight, sticking your bottom out and just sinking into that gap between the shoulders. I like to hold this stretch for about 10 seconds, then I come up, then I go back down into it. And I just keep repeating that until I feel that everything has loosened off. That whole routine takes me 10 minutes and makes a massive difference to the rest of my day. You don't have to do these exact exercises, but hopefully it gives you a good starting point. Now, as a side note, if you're enjoying this routine and you want more ideas for how to build your own 10-minute morning mobility routine, the best thing to do is to check out my lifelong mobility program. I've got loads of pre-made routines in there. You can follow along with me in real time and do them every single morning with me as your guide. It's the best way to improve your strength and mobility over time. And if you want to check out the program, you can find it in the description box below this video. The second daily habit is to focus on your step count. Now, if we focus on slowly increasing the number of steps you take every day, that can go a long way to reversing many joint problems. And there's some really robust evidence to suggest that if you can get somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 steps per day on average, not only will you be healthier, but you'll also live longer. It quite literally can add years to your life. Here's my 3-step guide to hitting your daily step goals. Part number 1, just track what you already do. Most smartphones have got a step counter in them already, so if you have that in your pocket, it will count your steps. Or you can get yourself an easy step count pedometer that just clips onto your belt, or a smartwatch like this kind of thing, which will track your steps as well. And all you're going to do is live a normal life and then track what you do over the course of 2 weeks. Once you've done those 2 weeks, take a daily average. Some days you might do more, some days you might do less. We're not bothered really about the big spikes, but add them all up and divide them by the same number of days, then you've got your daily average step count. And then your third step is to increase slowly. When I say increase slowly, I mean adding 10% to that step count every few weeks. So if you found that your daily average was 5,000 steps, once you've finished tracking, try doing an average of 5,500 steps and stick at that level for 3 or 4 weeks. If you manage it well, go up another level and keep going until you hit your target number. Increasing your step count over time doesn't have to be a chore. You don't need to go out for long walks every day to hit your goals. Just make simple changes like taking the stairs when you would have taken the escalator, or walking half a mile to the shops where before you might have driven. Doing that over time will significantly increase your step count. The third habit to reverse years of joint problems is resistance training 2 or 3 times per week. Now, resistance training is not just about building muscle, it's also about building strength to support your joints. And research shows that stronger muscles leads to better supported joints, which leads to less pain and less arthritis. Here are some great exercises you can consider to build into your routine. The first exercise you could consider is the goblet squat, which is a wonderful way of building strength in your quads and your glutes to protect your hips and your knees. You just need 1 dumbbell or a bag filled up with something heavy like books, and you're going to hold that heavy object into your chest like this. Keep it tight against your body. You're going to put your feet about shoulder width apart, back up nice and straight, stick your bottom out and bend your knees and sit back into a squat. Now, it doesn't really matter how deep you go. If you've got knee problems or hip problems, you don't need to go down as far as me. You can just go to here and come back up. But repeating that, as long as you keep that form and that technique good, keep going until the point of fatigue in your leg muscles, and over time that will strengthen your muscles to protect those joints. If you want to do the full movement, it looks like this. You stick your bottom out, bend your knees, sit all the way back into it as slowly as you can, and then come back up again. And we want to go about 4 seconds down and then 2 seconds back up again. If you can do somewhere between 10 and 20 repetitions, just until you get some fatigue in your legs, 3 sets each time you do it, just once or twice a week, it will make a huge difference to your health. The second exercise you could consider is the Romanian deadlift. And this is another great compound exercise that works multiple muscle groups, including your hamstrings and your glutes and your lower back all at the same time. So you're going to stand with 2 dumbbells or a barbell if you've got one. You're going to bend down and pick them up and rest them on the front of your legs. Keep your back up nice and tall, very slight bend in the knees, and then stick your bottom out and slide the weights down your legs without rounding your spine. You're going to find a point here where your hamstrings at the back of the thigh stop you from going any further. That's just your signal to come back up and restart the movement. Simple as that. So you're going to slide the weights down, keep your back nice and straight, feel the stretch in your hamstrings, and then come back up. And again, keep repeating until the point of fatigue, ideally between 10 and 20 reps, once or twice a week. The third exercise you could consider is the seated overhead press. And this one strengthens your shoulder muscles and the muscles in your arms as well. You just need a normal chair and some dumbbells. You're going to sit on the edge of the chair, take your weights and rest them on your legs. You want to take them up one at a time like this, and then press up overhead and then slowly back down. This exercise works your deltoids and your rotator cuff and your triceps at the back of the arm. It's a fabulous way to build some upper body strength and to protect all of the joints in the top half of your body. By the way, if you're interested in learning more about exercises like these and you need some information to help you gain strength and muscle, I've recorded a free 25-minute video that you can take today, which will give you all of my best advice. You can find the details of that in the description box below this video. The fourth strategy I've got for you is exercise snacks. And exercise snacks are one of the most powerful techniques to improve the health of your joints and get stronger over time. An exercise snack is a single set of a particular exercise done whenever you get a moment throughout the day. Let's say I wanted to improve my ankle mobility. Well, a great exercise snack for me would be to do a calf stretch every time I get a second throughout the day. So whenever I'm brushing my teeth or I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, I just get into this position like this with my foot flat on the floor and keeping that back leg straight, bend the front knee and feel a nice stretch in my calf. Let's say I found time to do that 3 times per day. Well, that's 21 calf stretches throughout the course of the week. By the end of the week, do you think my calves are going to be more flexible? I would say so. So these exercise snacks can really add up over time. Here are a couple more ideas of things you can do for exercise snacks. You could do heel raises if you wanted to build some calf strength. So stand with your feet about hip width apart and then up onto tiptoes and back down. Again, whenever you're waiting for the kettle to boil or you're brushing your teeth. You could do a single leg stand if you wanted to improve your balance. So anytime, again, you're waiting for something, you can just stand on one leg and stand there for 30 seconds. Your balance would be much improved over the course of a few weeks. And finally, if you wanted to build strength in your legs, you could do some mini squats. So again, whenever you're waiting for something to happen or you're just on hold to the gas company or something, you can do 20 or 30 mini squats just until you feel those leg muscles working, and that will add up massively over time. Anyway, I hope you're finding this useful so far. If you are, please do hit the subscribe button. It's a massive favor to me, but more importantly, you will be the first then to hear about our new videos when they come out. It's totally free. The button is just below this video. Go and press it now. The fifth piece of advice I've got for you is to try and take the harder choice. Now, this might sound like brutal advice, but we live in a time where our lives are getting more and more convenient with each passing year. I had a patient who once asked me, should I buy one of those recliner chairs that tips you out to help you stand up because I'm struggling to get up using my legs? And I told them emphatically that's going to be a horrible idea. It will make them weaker over time and make them even less able to get up out of a chair. And what's going to happen if they don't have their recliner there? They're going to have to rely on someone else to lift them out of the chair. For that person, the harder choice was to keep struggling with the chair, trying not to use their arms, forcing themselves to use their legs, because that's the only way they're going to improve their ability to get out of that chair. Look, if your joints are stiff or weak, try not to take the easy path. If you see a staircase and an escalator, take the stairs. If it's half a mile to the shops and you're tempted to drive, force yourself to do that walk. It's the only way that things are going to improve. And when your body is screaming at you and saying, I need a break, it's usually just showing you that there's a problem area there that needs a little bit more work. Rest or avoidance is almost never the answer when it comes to joint pain. Now, hopefully this resonates and it doesn't come across as too harsh, but that mindset shift can make a huge difference to the lives of the people that I treat. And hopefully it will help you as well. If you're going to make a commitment to the harder choices, please drop a comment below and let us know what you're going to do. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. There's another video on the screen right now that can help you to build strength and improve your mobility. And I'll see you again on the next one.